Hey, what's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. All right, you guys. I was just looking at the interview with Raquel Pretty Beast Miller. She did an interview with Fred. Now keep in mind, um I've been talking about Raquel Pretty Beast Miller for a while. Cause one, she's a Bay Area native. Now I know nobody ain't gonna give me my props, but I've been talking about her for a while. Go back to my old interviews. I have her on here. I've done interviews with her. I interviewed her a couple of times. You know, so I went to see her fight when she was fighting basically in ballrooms, and she said something that was very interested, which people didn't want to talk about. You know, and it didn't go over people's head. It was just something that people didn't want to talk about. But like I said, I'll talk about it because, like I said, I don't, I don't owe nobody shit, and I'm not gonna protect nobody. Here's the thing. Um, she said something about female boxers, which I've been trying to say for a minute now. She talked about her promoter Lou DiBella because she's a Lou DiBella fighter, but she said Lou ain't handling her career, and that's good that she called them. She called them out. Now, keep in mind, she also talked about the situation that happened with her and Carissa Shields. Now, Carissa Shields said in an interview that basically she did try to fight Raquel Pretty Beast Miller. Basically, she said that um, she offered Raquel a contract and she turned it down. And I'm one of them type of dudes. It's always two sides to every story. Now, Raquel, she responded by saying, hey, well, she did offer me a contract, but she offered me a contract like with basically short notice. She said she is going to fight Carissa Shields. She needs to have a full camp, which I think that's fair. I think that's one of the biggest fights in female boxing that could be made. Now, the thing is, time isn't really on Raquel's side because Raquel is 34, you know. So the fight needs to happen sooner than later. Raquel is 34 years old. 34, 33. She up there. She's not old, I mean, but you know, she 34 and you have to take that into consideration. You know, she's getting up there. So this fight needs to happen sooner than later. And I think Carissa Shields is 24 now, 24, 25. So you talking about a 10-year age gap. So, where Carissa, she has time on her side and Raquel really doesn't. So this is the fight that need to get made sooner than later. Now I'm gonna talk about the Bud thing. I'm gonna talk about the Bud thing later on because it gotta be said. Cause one thing about me, I'm real with my shit, and I done told y'all I don't care about none of you niggas being mad at me about the shit I say. I'm gonna keep it 100. I told you I'm not watering my channel down for nobody, and I'm not saying what people want me to say. Cause at the end of the day, the truth gotta be told, and that's real. I don't care about people getting mad and people thinking that I'm sneak dissing them. I don't have to sneak diss nobody. I'll say your fucking name if you want me to say your fucking name. But then at the end of the day, I'm just trying to keep, I'm trying to keep this, I'm trying to keep this PI. Because at the end of the day, I ain't really trying to have no YouTube beef with nobody. But at the end of the day, sometimes you have to call people out on their bullshit. Sometimes you have to call people out on their hypocrisy. But there was something she said in that interview that nobody didn't want to discuss. When she said that, hey, Al Heyman don't have no female fighters on his roster, and he ain't really trying to do nothing for female fighters, and in particularly black female fighters. Now, you would think Al Heyman would be trying to get a couple of sisters on his roster. I think that would be big because, like I said, female boxing has a place. And I think it can I think it can blow up. I believe in women's boxing. I've said this from the gate. Shit, that's kind of hot. You seeing women like women punching each other and shit and fighting and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't finna get all erotic about it, but I think it's a place for female boxing, and I think female boxing can grow. And I noticed nobody spoke on that because, like I said, it's this theme that you supposed to like protect. Um, you know, Al Heyman at all costs, and you ain't supposed to criticize Al Heyman because you didn't had a lot of niggas like pushing this theme that if you criticize Al Heyman, that you some kind of coon and shit. Well, okay. If anybody think I'm some kind of coon because I've had my criticism against Al Heyman, but then some of y'all ain't even married to black women. Yeah, I said it. And I ain't talked about content creators. I'm talking about some of y'all that be in the comment section. But you trying to call me a coon and insinuate I'm a coon, man, y'all can eat a dick. Cause like I said, unlike a lot of these people, I really am on the front line. Just because I criticize Al Heyman don't mean that I'm some kind of coon, but I have to call it how I see it. I'm not finna sit up here and protect people that have prevented certain fights from happening, that have clearly talked people out of fights, and who are purposely doing in-house fighting and not trying to give us the best fights out there, who is clearly doing what the other promotional companies is doing. Like I said, man, I don't bite my tongue for nobody. Nobody don't tell me what to say on my channel. It just got to be said. And I noticed nobody didn't say nothing about that. I'm just keeping it 100. PBC need to sign female fighters. They need female fighters on their roster. Because everybody was set to go in on Lou DiBella, saying fuck Lou DiBella, but then as soon as she mentioned the fact that Al Heyman don't have not one female fighter, then all of a sudden the room got real quiet. So I gotta say this shit. Like I told you, man, I ain't scared of no nigga that's talking shit behind the computer, man. Cause like I said, I don't be worried about none of that shit. Cause like I said, it is what it is. It just gotta be said. And that's one of the problems that I have with Al Heyman. I don't like how Al Heyman, to a certain degree, has treated certain black media. How he's allowed uh, Kelly Swanson to get away with some of the shit that she done did. So, like I said before, I keep telling y'all, Al Heyman is not pro-black. He pro-green. And people need to stop presenting him as that type of person, because he's not no super militant nigga like that. He's not. Now, some of the people that he may have on his roster, some of his staff think like that, for real. But that was a real good interview with Raquel, and that need to be talked about. So I know people gonna listen to this video and shake their head and all that type of shit. Ask me, do I give a fuck? For real. Because at the end of the day, my videos are for me and the people that follow me. Like I said, I don't follow nobody's script. I talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. So I'm just keeping it 100. This needed to be put out there like that. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.